Welcome to the Natural Way of Being video blog. This video is titled, Stop Withholding Your Truth. It's natural to speak your truth. It's natural to express what you're feeling or share your view on something. It's typically when we withhold these things that we're experiencing that we get into trouble, that it prevents us from offering our truth. I think most of the people, at least watching this video, we're pretty good at allowing our truth to kind of come to us. We get ideas, we get truths about something, we feel things, we see perspectives that we may sense that the other people around us aren't seeing. But yet, I think there's a real tendency to withhold that. So it's right here. It's kind of right in our throat, ready to come out, and we pull it back. And it makes sense that we do this. We're conditioned from a very young age, to withhold our truth and to not speak what we feel and not express what we feel because it might make other people uncomfortable. And, children are taught not to express what they feel. Women often are conditioned to not express what they feel, especially in various settings. Now that's changing and I'm happy, but a lot of the women that have been on the planet for a while, they went through a phase that it wasn't so open for women to speak their truth. And so we're conditioned, and so we're conditioned to hold it back. And we're also conditioned to doubt our truth, to not trust it. So as we go through life, we're naturally experiencing truth. Our truth is coming to us. Our intuition is firing. We're feeling things, and then there's this tendency to pull it back. It's like the little thought bubble in a cartoon. It's right there, right? And yet we don't speak it. But the good news about this is the fix is relatively simple. It may not be easy, but it's relatively simple. All we need to do is to stop withholding our truth, is stop pulling it back. That's what it really feels like. It's there it is. It wants to come out. It wants to come out of our throat chakra, right? It wants to come out and we pull it back. And so all we need to do is stop pulling it back. And I think the place that this starts, the best place to start doing this is in environments and groups of people that you feel safe in. It may not be the intimidating business meeting or whatever else. It may be with a group of friends. It's one of the reasons we do, sharing circles and the work that I do. It's it's a safe place where you can express your truth and you can express what you're feeling and you don't have to filter it and you don't have to pull it back. You can just let it rip. And so when we start speaking our truth and expressing what we're really feeling, we share the experience we're having of life. It's because if we're all in this experience, we all have different experiences. We're all experiencing what's going on in a different way. And the world needs your experience of life. If you're watching this video, you've probably done some work. You're probably fairly self-aware, and so the world likely desperately needs your view and needs your truth. You're probably the most aware person in the room, and yet you're probably speaking the least. Hopefully not, but that's often what I've observed. The people that are sharpest and the most aware, they're the quiet ones. Well, you know what? The world needs your truth. So I encourage you to learn, to find a safe place and allow it out. And so what happens is the energy in your throat chakra starts flowing again. And it just gets to be like a new habit because, with our chakras, we allow things in our third eye. It comes down to our heart. We feel, we see clearly, we feel empathy. And then here down in our solar plexus somewhere, we kind of get this call for action and we get this intuition and then we have something to say. Our truth comes to us. Our feeling And it's like, and then it comes out and expresses out our throat chakra. And so like right about here is where the process tends to get jammed up. So it's like we do all this, we got the thing to say, it's down in our gut, right? We got the thing to say just fine. And then we're just about, and it's like, if I say that, it might hurt someone's feelings. Well, yes, that is possibility for sure. That is a risk. But maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe sometimes people need to get their feelings hurt, or they need to be uncomfortable, or they need to be a little threatened by your truth, and that's maybe what helps them heal. Find a safe group of people, or when you are feeling kind of safe or feisty, you're feeling like, well, I feel like letting it rip. Let it rip and let your, like when your truth in the thought bubble comes up, like just speak it, and then notice what happens. And your fears and your belief systems probably are telling you, your conditioning are telling you that terrible things will happen. Well, why not give it a chance? Treat it like an experiment. Speak your truth, let it flow, open your throat chakra, let it flow, and notice what happens. Now, granted, if terrible things happen, you can always go back to the way it was and keep withholding your truth. But it's not good for you either, because then your energy gets jammed up, and I think that's a lot why, I don't want to get into the types of disease it causes, but it's not natural to jam your energy up. And when you're jamming it going out, then it gets jammed coming, and now we're not in our flow anymore. So like this flow, is like happening naturally. You're coming in, flowing out. It's like this flow is just naturally. And so when we dam up one part of the river, if you will, that our throat chakra, then our energy stop flows, because it's getting stuck, and now we're out of our flow. My invitation is to stop withholding your truth. Stop pulling back your view and your perspective and what you're feeling, and trust yourself enough that yes, I want to say this, and therefore trust that maybe it needs to be said. Life is not a popularity contest. Sometimes we need to say difficult things, but it needs to be said. The world desperately, especially right now, it desperately needs you to speak your truth. That's one of the biggest ways that we make a difference. We don't have to be like teaching a class or being a spiritual teacher or any of that stuff. We can just be in our day-to-day life, and just when we feel something, just like, oh, I see something here, I'm going to speak it. People may look at you funny. That's okay. That's usually a good sign. You get used to it after a while, trust me. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to this talk. And I encourage you to go out and speak your truth. Stop withholding these valuable things that you have to contribute to the world. I hope you enjoy your week.